name is just Rouse. I'm 26 years old.
My name is Rouse. I'm 19 years old.
My name is Rosemary Rouse. I'm 23.
My name is Joel Rouse. I'm 29 years old.
My name is Donovan Rouse. I'm 26 years old.
My name is Jessica Rouse and I'm 21 years old.
My name is Melanie Rouse and I'm 32 years old.
That's the first question.
How old they were when you went to foster care?
How old were you guys when you went to foster care?
I was seven years old when they took me away.
Where'd you go?
I think I was 2. I was 5.
I was 9, about to turn 10.
I was 8 years old.
I was 4 years old.
I was 14 years old.
You gotta speak up a little loud so we don't have to do it again.
Remember when we were talking about when you guys got taken away and the foster homes, and you was telling me, I asked you what you remembered. What do you remember about, do you remember, you guys went to John and Jordan, right?
Yeah.
You remember?
Just tell what we said again now. Well, I remember sitting at the house with the family in the living room. Aunties in the living room. My cousins were in my room listening to my radio. And what I remember is the cops pulled up, so we got scared. Didn't know what was going on. They came in and said that there was reports of abuse going on in the house. The kids being abused, us kids, which was lies. So the parents said that nothing happened. They still took us, me and my brother and my 3 sisters, up to the BIA office up in Wagner. We sat there for a few hours at least. It was starting to get dark when they took us, and it was way past dark when we got there. So we only had a pop and a roll to all of us to share while we were sitting there waiting for the foster parents to come get us. Once they came and got us, we went down to the foster home in Beersford. The foster parent picked us up in Beersford, Roger Jordan. And they took us to the foster home after that.
When we got there, I was honestly scared. I didn't know why. I honestly didn't know why we were being taken. Because I don't remember the cops saying all that. Because I think I was sleeping when they took us. And I just woke up and hauled out. And I didn't know what was going on. I was just scared. Scared for my sisters mostly. Didn't know what was going on. Just got there about 2 or 3 in the morning, tired, and just went to bed.
I have a question. When you guys were taken, it was still daylight. Where did you guys go between?
Well, we were taken at different times. Me and my brother and my sisters were taken.
Yeah, you guys were taken differently
in
than
the evening. We were
than these guys.
Yeah.
But the way you're talking is like 2 o'clock at night. There's like a lapse of time here.
We were at the BIA.
We sat at the BIA
in the conference room. The conference room, right?
Yeah.
Were you questioned there?
No.
No, they just
sat us there and
we just sat there until they made their phone calls to get the foster parents or whatever. See what foster parents would take us, I guess. That's what it seemed like, because we just sat there.
Yeah,
we didn't have anything to do. We didn't, we just sat there and like, what's going on, we were
like
asking
if
each
they knew
other.
they were gonna take us, shouldn't they have had something set up for us, making us sit there and wait for?
Honestly, when they came to get you guys, they had a little piece of paper. It was like, there's no way all your names could have been on it.
Yeah.
They just came in and took you. I don't think they cared.
That's what they did. Because they didn't say what kids or whose kids.
No.
They just said kids, reports of abuse of kids, however they say it. But that's what they did. They just took all the kids out of the house. And like I said, me and my brother and my 3 sisters were taken to the BIA, and we sat there all night. at least all night until they started driving us to Beersford. And that's still a couple hours drive. And then from Beersford to Up Point, that's about at least another hour, you know, to get to the foster home where they had to take us. So I mean, it was pretty early in the morning, 3 in the morning when we finally got to the foster home.
Here, what I remember is that the day they took Trista, Melanie, Tabitha,
Rosemary with them?
Rosemary was already gone when I got up here. She was already in the foster home when I got up here. We just got back from the store. We were going to cook supper. The guy had a little piece of paper, and I thought that Jessica, or I know you wasn't there, but I thought a couple of Beaches kids were there. Because they came in, just like you said. They didn't know your names. They just took you. So, you guys remember, you remember that, Trista?
Yeah, I remember whenever they came in, there was like 4 or 5 FBI guys, and we all ran to Uncle Jess. I remember running to Uncle Jess because he was the biggest guy there and telling him not to let him take us. And then I remember they told my mom that it was just for one day. And it wasn't. Because from there, I went to Jean Brock's. And then from Jean Brock's, I went to the same foster home that Jerome and Don are at.
And who did you run to when?
My Uncle Jesse.
Why?
Because he was the biggest guy there, my uncle.
You could have stopped him
Yeah.
if it came down to it.
When you're at Jean Brock's, was there anything you can tell us that Jean Brock, how was she as a foster parent to you?
I don't really remember her. She was mean, actually. She was real mean, and I remember Derek was there too, and Derek kept telling us, you don't have to say nothing, don't tell him nothing. And then from there, that same morning, they came after us and took us down there where all those FBI guys were in it.
Was it that next day that they interviewed us? I can't remember.
I think it was the same day.
I remember the interview, but I don't remember when it happened. I know it was...
Was any of their names Mickey Tapkin?
Was Mickey there? No, Mickey wasn't
No,
there.
I
She
think
was
we
only
went to see
there
Mickey in Sioux
yeah,
Falls.
in Sioux Falls at the courthouse.
But you do remember her.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about Karen Schreier?
I don't remember her.
I don't remember Karen.
The only one I mostly remember is Dan Houser because he had whatever tape recorder and sitting right across the table from me when they interviewed me. And he's a big guy, a big bald guy, and he had like a suit and trench coat and real intimidating.
How many did they have?
I think there was 2 guys and a lady there. I think like I was 8 years old, so but I know for sure Dan Houser was there right across the table from me, asking the questions.
What
The
kind
other
of
one-
questions did they ask you?
I know the one was Maureen Jensen, the girl he's talking about, because she was big too. They all had, like you said, the trench coat, you know, the black
Intimidating
coat
looking
with the suits,
clothes.
all black on. So you know that's pretty intimidating to a kid that's scared of cops already. You know,
Well,
a little 10-year-old and an 8-year-old scared
we're
of
all
cops.
doing
And
interviews
the
with
cops,
camcorders and
the
stuff.
FBI come up with their trench coats
Alright.
in a pack like that, asking you questions on.
And you're the only kid in the room, and they're all adults, you know. How you can't really argue with an adult when there's 3 of them and you're just a kid, and they're asking you the same question over and over, but rewording it so it sounds different, but it's still the same
Did they
question.
make any promises to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
The main thing I remember, I would say, no, nothing happened. I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I miss my mom. Well, if you tell us what happened, we'll let you go home.
say yeah.
We know something happened. Did this happen? No. Well, if it happened, you can go home. If you just tell us that it happened, you can go home. You can go home. And we all wanted to go home really bad, and it was... I didn't break down the first interview. I'm pretty sure. Told them no, 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 but they would ask the same question over. Did this happen? No. Are you sure? No, it didn't happen.
You guys were all pretty little, and I know that, like, Jessica You remember a lot, right?
I remember.
About what happened when you got taken in foster care?
I remember being in the foster homes. I don't really remember being taken.
When they had you, like you being
She
so
was
little.
about, yeah, she's probably only
When-
about 4.
When
3.
did they question you?
In the foster homes?
Or the same people that questioned?
It was in
Your uncle, or your
Donna's
I don't
kitchen.
remember.
I lived
Yeah,
in the
we
kitchen.
sat there for hours saying no, and that's what they kept saying. You gotta tell us, yeah, you gotta tell us that they did that, and you could go home. And I remember after hours sitting there, keep telling them no. Then
This is a really awkward question, but you guys being so little, did they bring out any pictures? Did they do like any,
I don't remember any
point
pictures.
out like, did you see this or,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
don't remember.
You know
I
what
don't-
I'm trying to say, right?
I think if they did show pictures, I would remember, and I don't remember them showing me any pictures. They just asked, well, your sister or your cousin said this happened, is that true? And I'd say, no, I don't know, I don't remember knowing. At first it was no, and then it turned into I don't know, and pretty soon you can go home if you just tell us, and after a while,
I see.
yes, it happened, and I didn't give details because I didn't know what they were really talking about. Yes, it happened, yeah.
Rosemary, you're the first kid put in foster home. Do you remember where you were? You remember if it was Jean Brock or Donna Jordan?
Remember, yeah, Jean and Brock, yeah.
How did she treat you? I mean, was she mean to you? You were 5 years old. Was she like mean? Did she call you names? Did she treat you really? Did she hit you? Did she? Things like that.
Not that I remember.
Jessica, you do realize you were the first one to testify at the trial? Do you remember that?